Whispers in the Glass Desert. Chapter 3. The Unhealed Fracture. Log entry: Dr. Aris Thorne, Exobiology Survey Mission 7 Alpha. Location: Base Camp Silica Prime. Stardate: 741.18. Terran adjusted. The silence was different now. It was no longer the tense, pre-shatter stillness, but a deep, resonant peace. For 3 days, Aris had monitored the planet's recovery from a makeshift base camp near the Whisper. The glass plains, once veined with angry, pulsing fractures, were now healing. The granular silicate, carried by the wind and the diligent work of the Scuttlers, was slowly filling the cracks, fusing under the binary sun's light into delicate, silvery scars. The air itself seemed cleaner, the light show from the crystal spires more vibrant, as if the world was breathing a sigh of relief. Aris sat cross-legged on the warm glass, his bioscanner humming softly as it recorded the steady, harmonious resonance flowing through the ground. He watched a group of scuttlers moving with purpose, not panic. They were repairing a deep fissure, their taps now measured, synchronized with the planet's healthy pulse. It was a beautiful, profound thing to witness. Vital signs are stable, whisper. The patient is recovering beautifully. Affirmative. Planet-wide resonance cascade has ceased. Harmonic coherence at 98.7% of projected baseline. The Scuttler collective shows marked reduction in entropy. However, a curiosity remains. The holographic display above his wristcom flickered, pulling up the long-range sensor logs from their approach to Silica Prime. During our initial orbital insertion, a transient energy signature was detected and catalogued as background cosmic radiation. Post-event analysis suggests otherwise. The signature bears the hallmarks of a tachyon burst, artificially modulated. Origin: deep space, beyond the Helios beta system. The timing is statistically improbable. Probability of coincidence: 0.0003%. Aris's smile faded. A tachyon burst, faster than light communication or a byproduct of a high-energy warp drive, not something that occurred naturally in this quiet sector. You think someone else was here before us. The data does not confirm a planetfall, but it indicates a brief, powerful emission within a 0.5 AU radius of Silica Prime, approximately 72 hours prior to the onset of the resonance cascade. 72 hours, the exact time it would have taken for a resonant shockwave traveling through the planet's unique crystalline lattice to propagate from the surface to the deep-seated heart crystal. The pieces clicked into place with a cold, logical finality. It wasn't age, it wasn't internal stress. Aris stood up, his eyes scanning the serene horizon as if it were a lie. Someone shot it, a focused energy pulse, or perhaps a resonant weapon, something designed to disrupt the core frequency. They didn't land, they just took a shot from orbit and left. A reasonable hypothesis. The heart crystal, acting as the planet's primary resonator, would be highly susceptible to a precisely tuned exogenous frequency. The resulting feedback loop would be catastrophic, exactly as observed. A cold fury began to burn in Aris's gut. This wasn't a natural disaster. It was an assassination attempt on a world, an act of wanton, galactic vandalism. Who would do such a thing, and why? Can we trace the source, get a vector on that burst? Negative. The signature is too faint, too brief. However, the modulation is distinct. If we encounter it again, we will recognize it. The peace of the last 3 days shattered as completely as the planes had nearly done. He was not just an observer anymore. He was a witness to a crime, and the criminals were still out there. His comms unit chimed, an urgent, repeating ping. It wasn't from the Whisper. Incoming broadband transmission, Terra Federation Emergency Protocol. Source, Deep Space Relay Network. A text-only message scrolled across his display, its official Federation seal stark against the golden glass. Be advised, scientific vessel Aurora's quest is overdue and presumed lost. Last known position, vicinity of Helios Beta System 6 months ago. Vessel commanded by Dr. Lysander Corvain, lead researcher on prohibited xenotech studies. Corvain's work focused on sonic resonant weaponry, consider extremely dangerous and unscrupulous. Any contact, report immediately. Reward offered for salvageable data cores. Aris read it twice. Dr. Lysander Corvain, a name he knew by reputation, a brilliant, radical, and notoriously unethical physicist whose Federation funding had been pulled after a resonance mining experiment accidentally destabilized a moon's core. Sonic resonant weaponry, a missing ship, 6 months ago. The timeline fit perfectly. Whisper, cross-reference, the tachyon burst modulation with known Federation weapon signatures, specifically those from Dr. Corvain's published, albeit theoretical, work. The AI was silent for a full 3 seconds, a lifetime for it. Match 92% correlation to Corvain's theorized acoustic disruption torpedo profile. Hypothesis confirmed. The Aurora's quest was here. They fired a resonant weapon at Silica Prime. The purpose remains unknown. Why, Aris muttered, packing now. A test, an experiment, to see if it could be done. He looked out at the Scuttlers, their simple, purposeful lives almost extinguished for a data point in a madman's journal. The message indicates a focus on xenotech. Perhaps the planet's resonant properties were the target, an attempt to harvest the heart crystal's energy or to study the cascade effect itself. The implications were terrifying. If Corvain had recorded the cascade, if he had data on how to shatter a world, and if he was still out there. The ground beneath his feet trembled, not with the harsh buzz of before, but with a new rhythmic vibration. Heavy, mechanical. Unidentified vessel on approach. High-energy ion drive. Orbit in 120 seconds. Signature is cloaked, but mass and drone profile suggest a corporate salvage reclamation ship. Of course, the Federation's emergency broadcast was a beacon to every scavenger and fortune hunter in the sector. The message mentioned a reward for data cores. They weren't here for the Scuttlers or the glass. They were here to pick the bones of Corvain's experiment. Aris sprinted for the Whisper, his mind racing. He couldn't let them land. Their heavy drives, their indiscriminate scanning, their mere presence could destabilize the fragile recovery. The Scuttlers wouldn't understand the new threat. They would perceive the ship's vibrations as another dissonant attack. Whisper, power up all systems, get us airborne, and open a channel on all frequencies, Federation Guard band. He scrambled into the pilot's seat as the ship's engines whined to life. The viewport shimmered, displaying a tactical overlay. A bulky, utilitarian ship was decelerating into a high orbit, its hull bristling with sensor dishes and drill booms. The Prophet's margin, according to its transponder. The comm crackled. Unidentified small craft. This is Captain Jax of the Prophet's margin. We have a Federation salvage license for this sector. You are interfering with commercial operations. Stand down and prepare for boarding and inspection. Aris slammed his hand on the comm panel. Captain Jax, this is Dr. Aris Thorne of the Federation Exobiology Survey. Silica Prime is a fragile living biosphere under my protection. Your ship's resonance profile is a direct threat to its stability. You are ordered to withdraw immediately. A gruff laugh echoed through the cockpit. A biologist, protecting glass and bugs. Sorry, Doc, we're here for the big score, Corvain's data. We have scanners that can pinpoint a data core from 1,000 clicks. We won't even have to land. Now move aside or we'll move you. On the tactical display, a high-intensity active scanner pulse erupted from the Prophet's margin, an invisible hammer of energy slamming down towards the planet's surface. Below on the glass plane, the Scuttlers froze. The harmonious rhythm of their work stuttered. The newly formed silver scars in the glass began to glow with a faint, angry red. The fracture, it seemed, was far from healed. It had just changed shape.